Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So I'm gonna get this screen set up. It's good to see everybody in the building. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys can hear me, okay. If you guys can hear me, make sure that you guys throw a 1 in the chat. If you guys can't hear me, I guess it won't be no 2 because you can't hear me. You won't hear me ask for the 1s and 2s. You know what I'm saying? So let me give a shout out to everybody that's in the building real quick. We got my man Mr. Knock up in here. What's good, FBA family? What's good with the FBA family in the house? You know what I'm saying? We got Lana L in the building. We got Val Williams. Got my man Kareem Yee. We got my man Cameron Jones in the building. We got Faith and Lighten in the building. We got Janesta Cole in the building. Got my man DJ Elmo up in here. We got Hey Mr. Knickerbocker in the house. We in this bad boy. We in this bad boy deep. So let's talk about Dana and Anna White. All right. Now, what do you guys think about this situation? How many of y'all actually saw the slap? You know what I'm saying? And we got to take a vote. Who did it better? Did Rick James slap Charlie Murphy better than Dana White slapped Anna White, or no? Who won the slap off contest? Rick James or Dana White? You know what I'm saying? Who did it better? If you ask me, of course Rick James did. You know what I'm saying? Of course Rick James did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rick James, no doubt, Kareem. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Dana White is a clown. You know what I'm saying? And we got to ask a whole bunch of questions. You guys ready? Get your notepads out. We got to ask some questions here. The first question. Lloyd said Dana made it authentic. Yeah, Dana was definitely unscripted. You know what I'm saying? We can definitely give him that. That was his was unscripted and it wasn't on Comedy Central. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man RG Titan. So, where's the outrage? All right. Where is everybody? Where are all of the feminists? Where are all of the believe all women? You know what they don't talk about? They don't talk about that believe all white men thing. That's kind of like unspoken, I guess. I guess that's like the blue code, the blue line of silence. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're gonna see it, Faith. You definitely gonna see it. He hit her and she apologized for it. Now, here go the thing, right? Dana White and Anna White, they've been married for a long time. I think I read somewhere 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And they were in Mexico on New Year's and they got sloppy drunk. And you know what I'm saying? Dana White got smacked first. How many of y'all knew that? Yes, she slapped the shit out of him. She said, asshole, and smacked him dead in his face. And then he hit her with the little sissy slap twice. Shout out to Carla. What up with it? So now I got a question. How come no one is calling Anna White masculine? Why is that not happening? She got masculine. She got buck. What's good with it, Bronze? If you ask me, damn, I'm coughing and shit. I'm over here coughing like somebody slapped me. They standing in solidarity across the board. Now, you know what's crazy? Meek Mills and somebody got into it at that fight. And that fight that went down, that brother was accused of doing something to his baby mom. And everybody believed her. until he came with the evidence. She put a toothbrush in shit, and he didn't hit her. You know what I'm saying? But everybody believed her and didn't believe him. As a matter of fact, he got snatched up by the police. Anybody seen the police report on Dana White? What's the charges? These women, like Amber Heard, are out here playing in shit, putting it on toothbrushes, spreading it on the bed like a peanut butter sandwich. And it's just okay. The world's still perpetuating people like Dana's wife as the most desirable and soft women. She ain't slap Dana White soft, did she? She didn't slap him soft, did she? You know what I'm saying? She slapped the dog shit out of him. Now, you want to know what else is crazy? Here's something else that's crazy. Why is everybody sitting around talking about Dana White should have his own punishment? We don't know what to do. All you gotta do is just go look in them law books that y'all wrote, because y'all wrote the laws. So look at them laws. What do it say that you do when a husband slaps a wife, or when a wife slaps a husband? If you ask me, they need to lock them both up. They're both violent. I'm doing a series on this channel called Family Side, because it's an unspoken statistic. Certain group of desirable people here in the United States just like to off their families. You know, the kid could be getting on your nerves. We'll just bury him somewhere. Wife getting on your nerves. We'll just chop her up and throw her somewhere, because that's what we do. That's American culture. But we're not going to talk about it. We're only going to talk about it when somebody else does it. How come nobody's saying anything? Where's all those women online that always say that it's only black men that do this? You know, when it comes to people like Chris Brown and that boxer, it always comes out that the woman bucked up on the man. But for whatever reason, we know the reason, we still got to run the dude through the mud. Shout out to my man, Sean Williams. Appreciate it, bro. Why is that? Why is that? Let me ask you guys a question. When Kanye West tweeted, or I'm sorry, when Kyrie Irving tweeted the link to Hebrews to Negroes, was there anybody white that came out and said, well, you know, Kyrie is just looking into his ancestry, and because of the way that the United States was formed, there's plenty of practical reasons why he might be researching his ancestry? Did anybody white come out and say that? Despite the fact that, you know, it would have been honest if they had have said that. They'd have been embracing their Adoso legacy. Did they come out and say it, though? No, nobody said it. But man, let somebody white do something. Man, you got Stephen A. You got Stephen A. hairline coming out. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. hairline. And I swear, every time that clown gets on camera, it looks like his hairline goes back a little bit more. Soon it'll be in the middle of his head, parallel to his ears. Shout out to my man, OMN. You guys should check out my man, OMN. My man, OMN, did a video about this too. You got Stephen A. Smith that says, oh, you know, we all understand. Now, check this out, right? Ari Emanuel said that a mental disorder that's known to make you have impulse control issues is not an excuse for Kanye West to say bizarre things. But alcohol is an excuse for a coherent man with no known mental disorder to slap the dog poop out of his wife and blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the liquor. Really? We doing that? Why is everybody confused all of a sudden when we got law books and precedents and everything on how to deal with these kind of situations? Everybody knows what happens when you got a woman and a man and they slapping each other upside the head. Domestic violence. You go to court, you get a restraining order, you go to some classes, you might do a couple days in jail. Stephen A. Smith doesn't think that that's what should happen. A jury of his peers should not criticize his civic duty or his compliance with the laws. Dana White should come up with his own punishment. What do you guys think about that? You guys okay with that? I'm not okay with it. But here's the problem. The problem is that the world is correct. We live in a world that reinforces the idea that because people like Dana White are the most desirable man, they don't do anything wrong ever. People like Dana White's wife, the most desirable and soft feminine women, they don't do anything wrong ever. So you got a situation here where you're looking at feminism and WS working hand in hand. How come nobody's calling that woman the B word? Man, what's wrong with that B? And see, I gotta watch my mouth because YouTube changed the community guidelines. They don't want you swearing all like that. Probably because they don't want you calling Dana White's wife a B word. They don't want us to call her a female attack dog, because I mean that's what she did, right? She attacked dog. You know what I'm saying? So Dana White had a lot to say before. You know what I'm saying? Dana White had a whole lot to say before. Once you slap a woman, once you put your hands on a woman, there's no going back. Where you about to go, bro? Because we got you on camera putting your hands on a woman. You know what I'm saying? We got you on camera putting your hands all up and down a woman. Shout out to Janesta. Everybody drop Janesta some radiation emojis. Janesta Coleman knows that the world is correct. And now Anna Wife's face knows that the world is correct. Man, because what's crazy is this is a bizarre situation because the wife got on code with the husband. What's that coach's name? Old boy from the Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? He was messing around with old girl from shout out to my man Gary. What up with it, bro? He was messing around with old girl from the Boston Celtics. I think it's like the owner's wife or something like that. You know, Nia Long, she didn't say, oh, you know, he's just a man. And, you know, I was busy. And, you know, there's times that I'm just not in the mood. And, you know, he just had to, you know, release his primal urges. And he found a willing participant. She didn't do none of that. She said, boy, bye. You know what I'm saying? She said, boy, bye, you know? Which, I mean, I ain't mad at Nia Long for that. I mean, I get it. Ain't nobody trying to be with somebody that's practicing infidelity. I get it. But I mean, at the same time, you got to look at this woman and say, are you trying to be with somebody who is going to get drunk, smack the crap out of you, and that's just okay? But then at the same time, Dana White got to ask himself the question, am I going to be with this masculine, you know what I'm saying, Old Spice wearing, testosterone, chicken noodle soup, funky female that's going to smack the crap out of me when she got a little bit too much vodka in her cranberry juice? Well, we just going to cover for each other. And what we hope is that nobody breaches our privacy. I mean, there ain't really too much else to see. We saw you on camera getting ratchet in Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, while Dana White was smacking the soul out of his wife, they was up there yoking up El Chapo's son. And they done put El Chapo's son in the same prison that El Chapo escaped from. El Chapo done escaped from a damn prison like every week. I swear you could go back and look at a magazine every single month, and every single month it'll say El Chapo recaptured and brought back into custody. I mean, this dude, he need to get his own damn New Year's special. Not like the one that Dana White did, like the one David Copperfield used to do. You know what I'm saying? Or David Copperfield used to do it on Christmas, didn't he? I can't remember. You know what I'm saying? So Dana White slaps wife during physical altercation on New Year's Eve. There is no excuse, but he's excusing himself. It was the liquor. And you know what else he said? I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care. And his wife is standing with him, probably barely, you know what I'm saying? Because her head is probably still jarred from getting slapped like that. But she's standing there with him. That's right. My husband didn't do anything wrong ever. These are the desirable folks of society. You know what I'm saying? White and his family were on vacation in Mexico. Shout out to my man Moxie Approved. Oh my God, we talking about Mexico when the incident took place. There he is. Now this dude looks like an earthworm. It's just not a good time of year for bald-headed white men, is it? You got Andrew Tate human trafficking women like the Fast and the Furious. They got him locked up somewhere in a Romanian dungeon. You know what I'm saying? You got Dana White with his head looking like a bunch of raw chicken skin. He can't keep his hands off his wife. And she looked like a damn banana with a wig. It's just not starting out as a good year for some people. You know what I'm saying? I hope that changes. You know what I'm saying? I hope that changes. So after a video surfaced, which we'll be watching, of Dana White appearing to. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention. You see here on CBS MMA, it says, after a video surfaced of Dana White appearing to strike his wife. I mean, I guess if we're critiquing the appearance, Dana White hit her like his rotator cuff was messed up. Shout out to my man JD Informant. Did y'all ever see when Shaq and Charles Barkley got in a fight in the NBA and Shaq did one of those bussy punches on Charles Barkley? That's the same way Dana White smacked his woman in the face. That's why he doubled up on it, because he hit her so light he probably thought the first one missed. You know what I'm saying? Facts, Val. Big facts. Oh yeah, Ari Emanuel's making sure nobody's speaking on this. Man, his lips are extra tight. I just don't know what to do about this. I do. You know what I'm saying? TMZ published a video of the altercation with White and his wife, Anna White, appearing to argue before Anna struck her husband. Now, how come the headline don't say that? Anna White slaps husband during physical altercation. See, that's that privilege. They all got privilege. We're gonna not act like the woman was acting like a wild chimpanzee with rabies. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna just downplay what the husband, oh, he didn't do nothing. And then we'll get King Kong Coon, Stephen A. Smith, and his hairline looking like a shoreline at low tide, get on the camera and say, Dana White's my friend. That's my friend. Man, I bet you Dana White don't even know your name. Dana White be way back from you like your hairline be from your eyebrows, bruh. That's my friend. I ain't never seen Dana White kicking it with no Stephen A. Smith. Look at him. Look at him. Looking like he just got pulled off of some turkey breasts. Ugh. God. So this situation took place at a nightclub in Cabo, San Lucas, Mexico. I'd actually like to see him rot in a Mexican jail. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be nice. You guys seen that movie Blue Streak? Martin said, don't nobody want to go to jail in Mexico. Dana White must have wanted to, slapping his wife up in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I heard the Mexican prisons is rough. Put him down there. Put him in there. Maybe he'll find some more fighters for the UFC down there. After they get done whooping his butt up and down the damn jail cell, he can give him a contract making 5 figures, because we all know Dana White is cheap. There was a UFC champion, a longtime champion, one of the best heavyweights that ever fought in the UFC. It was a dude from where I grew up at named Stipe Miocic. This dude didn't get paid nothing. Man, his paycheck was garbage. He was still working for the fire department the whole time he was in the UFC. Real talk. Y'all can look that up. And this is a dude that was a solid heavyweight champion. He wasn't no slouch. He had the belt for a long time. Yeah, they blamed it on the liquor. They wasn't drinking nothing but some damn triple sec anyway. You know they wasn't drinking. You know they wasn't drinking nothing good. They wasn't drinking no hen. They wasn't drinking no Cavassier. They wasn't drinking no VSOP. You know they was drinking some garbage. You know, they don't know how to drink. Probably had a couple shots of Jägermeister. That deer blood had him all hyped up. You know what I'm saying? What Dana White gonna drink? Probably was drunk off some champagne, some barefoot Moscato with some little pineapples cut up in it. Bro, sit your butt down somewhere. Shout out to my man Emmanuel Carey. Yeah, Stipe Miocic. Yeah, Stipe Miocic was a beast. You know what I'm saying? His paychecks wasn't beastly though. Shout out to Dana White, because Dana White don't be paying nobody beastly. You know, a lot of those guys in the UFC, at least back in the day, they had to make most of their money with a knockout bonus or with a fight of the night bonus. That's a very difficult sport to endure all of that damage and all of that wear and tear, and you're getting paid pennies. You know what I'm saying? That's not the business, but it was Dana White's business. Dana White was out here paying his employees like they work at Walmart. Facts, Kareem. Man, you remember what Dana White did when John Jones was sniffing some cocaine? John Jones wanted to have some nose candy. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to play Scarface for a little bit. Oh, man, Dana White acted like it was the end of the world. I wonder if Dana White was coked up when he slapped his wife. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, why haven't you done a story on Logan Paul? It's in the algorithm right now hard. For real? What the stuff with Logan Paul and what's that dude's name? CoffeeZilla, with that cryptocurrency thing that he was doing? I'm not a big Paul brothers fan. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? And I haven't. I checked out CoffeeZilla's video, but I didn't really like look into it. If y'all want me to do a video, I had to research it and check it out. It's popping up in my that's because it's Jake Paul. Jake Paul got the face that YouTube algorithm likes to recommend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, YouTube really enjoys giving white content creators 1 million subscribers for no reason. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? You got to look under a rock and grab a flashlight and get a magnifying glass and move all kind of dirt and sand to the side to find my stream. But man, you know what I'm saying? Let you look like you'll melt at 12 o'clock noon. And I mean, you just all over the damn algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ain't no big Jake and Logan Paul fan. You know what I'm saying? They not really, yeah, yeah, pearly tings. You know what I'm saying? 1 million overnight. 1 million overnight. Anti-reparations, Jesse Lee Peterson kicking it with Jess Pearly Lurch. You know what I'm saying? But that's that weird stuff. Just Pearly Things is one of them women that'll put their hands on somebody like Dana White. She Me Too the black dude. I don't know if anybody aware of that. That's something that them fans of hers don't really talk about too much. She Me Too the brother. You know what I'm saying? She also used to be with a brother. And then as soon as she got hot, he got dropped. They don't talk about that though. Oh man, Molly. She probably wants some. Matter of fact, that might have been what Dana White's wife was going upside his head about. Dana White might have, you know what I'm saying, got some of that good golly Miss Molly, and the wife found out. And he was like, "Shut up now. We're trying to enjoy New Year's Eve with the family. We'll talk about this later." "No, I want to talk about it now." And then she slapped him. Molly is a clown. You know what I'm saying? She's just like any of these other anti-black IG models, dumb bimbos. You know what I'm saying? That people just pedestalize. You know what I'm saying? She got a little bit of time and sperm from what's that guy's name? Jalen Rose. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I don't know why people be doing that. I don't know. I don't understand it. To me, like, it's bizarre. Those cats in the NFL were probably putting in some work on Lil Molly back in the day. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know they was. She was spread like a butter on some biscuits. And now she all prim and proper. And if you say anything, you know, slightly, I don't know, flirtatious, slightly suggest, oh my God, you brought me back to post-traumatic stress syndrome. Girl, bye. Nobody thinking about you. You know why? Because you look like you hit the wall with your face. Just like that Asian chick that's going around talking crazy about the passport bros. But I ain't trying to be funny though, man. A lot of that stuff, a lot of them kind of situations, a lot of people brought on themselves. But then they don't ever want to ask themselves the question, is the world correct? Molly trying to back after she went black. You know the rules. After you go black, you can't come back. Molly, you in the streets now forever. You've been banished. You know what I'm saying? You better start talking right. You better start acting right. You know what I'm saying? So maybe somebody will scoop your leftover ass up like eggs after you get done serving them. Yeah, she Me Too'd LeVar Ball on TV. Oh, I felt like he went in my drawers just talking to me. Shut up, man. You girl, listen. You're a announcer on a network that does commentary on male athletics, high testosterone sports, and you got your female ass there, and you think somebody gonna tap dance around you? You ain't shit. You better act like you one of the boys, or you better go find another job. Better go get your ass to Hooters or something like that, or go up and down a pole somewhere. Athletics is full of aggressive men. You're gonna deal with aggressive men. That's what you're getting a paycheck for. Everybody got Molly's back though. Whatever. They didn't have her back like them NFL cats, RG Titan talking about, but you know what I'm saying? They doing the do, I guess. So now it says this led Dana White to strike her back multiple times. The situation took place at a nightclub in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I'm in Cabo, Mexico for the holidays with my family, and my wife and I were out with family on New Year's Eve. And unfortunately, that's what happened. He's talking about it like it's a car accident or something. I mean, maybe, yeah, she probably because she didn't catch the plate on that hand. You know what I'm saying? She didn't catch the plate on that hand. But this ain't no car accident. This is not an act of nature. This is an act of your nature. Your low IQ, low impulse control behind didn't know how to handle the situation. And your wife, the same thing. Now, what if both parents got locked up in Mexico? I think somebody said somewhere they got 3 kids. But these are the same people that are always constantly trying to attack our family structures. When you got the mom and the dad, $1 million. Man, sometimes you just can't take garbage out of the trash can. You got all this money and you're out in public making a damn mockery of yourselves. I mean, that's just proof you just can't elevate and evolve everybody. And Dana White and Anna White are evidence of that, but they still both get a pass. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Why do they both get a pass? Why are they getting a pass? Do they deserve one? I don't think they deserve one. Here's my question. Why hasn't the state picked up charges and pressed them and criminally charged them? If you all feel that Dana and Anna White should be criminally charged, not only for disorderly conduct, but also for mutual domestic violence, give me a thumbs up. And I think that they should be tried in Mexico, where nobody knows them. They don't deserve a pass at all. They both already got passes because both their hands passed across each one of their cheeks publicly, and somebody saw it. There's a witness to this. It's not speculation like Chris Brown. It's not speculation like that boxer. This has been witnessed. Yo Duddy Landry is on TMZ. Everybody's seen it. And the articles are still talking about allegedly. Yeah, Kareem says LeVar got blackballed on ESPN for the Molly incident and blackballed from the rest of the outlets with chicks on them. Coward. Yeah. But what we're going to do is we're going to show a long series of evidence of this kind of nonsensical behavior. And we're also going to show how these families are violent and dysfunctional. And then we're going to ask the question, well, as long as these people continue to get a pass, nobody should be surprised when somebody decides to just lash out. Now, let me ask you guys a question, right? How many of these stories have we seen, like Chad Wheeler, where the white dude beats up a black woman and literally no one even talks about the black woman? And then when the media gets hold of the story, they'll say it's the black woman's fault. Y'all remember that black woman that got killed? I think her name was like Simone or something like that. And they didn't even investigate it. They said that she had done drugs and the family had to push for the investigation. Okay, so she did drugs and she deserved to die. And these people were drunk as a skunk, and it's okay for them to act like a bunch of ignorant, belligerent barbarians in somebody else's country. This is an embarrassment, mind you, because these are American tourists. They're putting their best foot forward, showing Mexico what Americans are like. Nah, not Mike Tyson. I can't think of that. I can't think of that woman's name. Double standards. Now, here's my question. If you listen to the media says, oh, this is an isolated event. It never happens ever. If it never happens ever, how is it that I got a whole series of videos on my channel called Family Side, where it's people like Dana White beating or offing his family the entire time? And it's a statistic that's not even measured. It's a cultural thing. As a matter of fact, it's such a cultural thing, to contain getting their heads beat in, they had to come up with feminism. Women like Anna White knew that the world was correct, and to contain the privilege that people like Dana White have from going upside their head or leaving them chopped up somewhere, they had to come up with feminism, but make it feminism that only benefits them. Yeah, feminism is a containment mechanism created to protect PC women from PC men. But people don't want to talk about that, though. And then, you got other people jumping on board as if, it makes sense for them to jump on board, and it doesn't. But that's where feminism came from. It wasn't anybody else other than men like Dana White telling women like his wife, you can't vote, you can't get a job, you can't go to school. Wasn't us. So all of a sudden, though, you got all this fake outrage, and you know what I'm saying? They doing the whole we're all in this together as men, we're all in this together as female stuff. You're all in it together as females until it's time to get some benefits. Then you don't get any. Then you look stupid. And then you want to turn around and lash out at other people who don't have anything to do with your issues. That's the fake reality that we live in. Shout out to my man KO Kid Fit. And one of the reasons why the world is correct is because if you live in a fake reality and you can't see actual reality, how you ever going to address actual reality? How did I contribute to the patriarchy of Dana White slapping the dog crap out of his wife and everybody getting on code to be on his side and blaming the woman? Where's the videos? Where's the videos of the men who build? The man who built the UFC and who also built a big knot on his wife's face. Where's the videos? Everybody computer malfunction on the same day. Mine working. You know what I'm saying? Mine is working. So now Dana White goes on, and shout out to KO Kid Fit. My man KO Kid Fit did a dope video on this. You know what I'm saying? So you guys should check it out if you guys haven't seen it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show some love and drop some radiation emojis for Janesta Coleman, showing some love. $5 super chat. Y'all already know what time it is. We're going to be streaming another day. Matter of fact, I might actually stream again later on tonight, depending on how turned I get. You know what I'm saying? Where my man Moxie approved that. Oh my God, we talking about Mexico. Shout out to the lead Karen. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, I'm one of those guys you heard me say for years. Now let's pay attention. Everybody get your notes. I'm one of those guys that you heard say this for years. There's never, ever an excuse for a guy to put his hands on a woman. I disagree, Dana White. And guess what, Dana White? You don't make the rules. If anybody hits you, they open up a can of worms for you to deal with them accordingly, as far as I'm concerned. Shout out to my man TD Hip Hop Media. Facts. I had actually talked to TD. Shout out to my man TD. I had told TD, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do a video on this. And then I was like, then I thought about it and I was like, man, this is too toxic of a situation for me not to talk about. So we're going to talk about it in the most in the most toxic, unhealthy way that we possibly can. Because that's the only way that you can actually get to the meat of things. You know what I'm saying? Surgery don't feel good. Nothing that makes you better feels good or tastes good. How many people remember castor oil? You know what I'm saying? That stuff ain't taste good. But made you feel better. You know what I'm saying? So now Dana White, now he's here on TMZ talking about it. My wife and I have been married for almost 30 years. So check this out. How many times you think he went upside her head in those 30 years? We've known each other since we were almost 12. So that adds even more time. How many times you think since 12 years old he went upside her head? Obviously, we've been through some rough times together and we've got 3 kids. This is one of those situations that's horrible. Now, if you pay very close attention, Dana White doesn't go into any kind of self accountability. I just lost control. You know, all my life I've known this, but I've never publicly announced it. I'm a piece of crap. I'm abusive to the employees in the UFC, and now you've seen some of that toxicity leak into my marriage. He didn't say any of that. You know what he said? He said the same thing Shannon Sharpe said. I did what I did. He says that he's embarrassed, but is he embarrassed because he behaved like that, or is he embarrassed because somebody got it on camera? I think his chicken skin headed looking self is embarrassed because somebody caught him on video. And now he got to answer questions. Oh, I don't want to answer questions. Guess what, buddy? Guess what? You're going to be answering questions. About that time you gave your wife's face a 5-finger discount. Because that's not what real men do. Right? At least that's what Dana White said. That's not what real men do. Real men don't go upside a woman's head. So basically what that means is that Dana White's not a real man. And shout out to Val, Carla, Janesta, and Faith for answering the Nightbot. Appreciate it. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys take a moment and smash that like button. We have 3 kids, and obviously since the video popped up, we've shown the kids the video, and we're more focused on our family right now. People are going to have their opinions on this. Most of the people's opinions will be right, especially in my case. But you know what's funny? He didn't state what that correct opinion is. So I'm gonna ask you guys, if you have an opinion on Dana White, and Dana White says that most opinions are probably going to be correct, what is your opinion on this? Let me know. What's the popular opinion on this? What are we saying about this? Now, you know what I saw that kind of irked me? I saw somebody had done a video about that fight that Meek Mills had got in. And somebody had left in the comment section. I think it was on one of Self Talk's videos. And shout out to Self Talk for dropping that video. Somebody in the comment section said, "Oh, we got to do better than this." Because Meek Mill and old boy from $1 Million Worth of Game were on there fighting. Not $1 Million Worth of Game, but $1 Million Worth of Game dude. I think, what's the dude's name? Wallow. I think Wallow was trying to break up the fight, and Meek Mill was in the audience fighting. He says, we got to do better than this. Let me ask you guys a question. When they say we got to do better than this, what are they talking about? We're looking at Dana White, right? We're looking at Dana White's wife. We're looking at not just figuratively or name-wise, but literally 2 quote-unquote white people. First name, last name, race. Them as a family aren't saying we have to do better. I don't have nothing to do with what was going on at that boxing match, and I don't care either. And we talking about Meek Mills. We're not talking about somebody that's an outstanding, shining civic example of an exemplary man. We're talking about a hip-hop degenerate, a clown. You know what I'm saying? So why do we have to do better? Why do people say stupid stuff like that? Were you at the fight? Were you beating somebody up that night? This is an actual family, and they're not saying we have to do better. Why, as soon as somebody who's completely unrelated to you does something, do people say, quote unquote, we have to do better? We don't have to do a damn thing except for doing what we're doing right now. Anytime anybody that tries to cross us tries to flip a story, we roast them. That's the only thing we got to do. How many of y'all was at the fight? How many of y'all contributed to it? Did one of y'all push Meek Mills in the back and push him into whoever it was that he was arguing with? No, none of us did any of that. Why do people do that kind of stuff? Why do people say that? I think that's a conversation that people should have. As soon as something crazy goes on TV, in most cases, you don't see other groups of people saying we need to do better. Anytime there's a Chinese or Asian prostitution ring that gets shut down, you don't hear a bunch of them saying, you know, we got to do better. Did any Latino people say they got to do better when Nuri Martinez and them got caught being anti-black racist? Undeniably, no. We don't have to do a damn thing better. The only thing we got to do better is be better villains. The only thing we got to do better is be heartless better. The only thing we got to do better is be ruthless better and lose some of that conscience. That's it. I agree, Sean. Sean says black people too busy listening to whites and letting them beat us down psychologically and buying into it instead of looking at objective facts. I agree 100%. If you guys agree with Sean, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I agree with that statement. And honestly, that's why I tell people you should become a content creator. Because if you become a content creator and you start looking at information, you start doing research on your own, you start actually reading these stories and picking up on patterns, you will start to ask yourself the same questions. When somebody says something stupid like, well, if Black lives really matter, well, you can ask yourself the same question. Well, why is there a White Lives Matter movement when these people keep offing their families and they're complaining about their birth rates? I mean, why are you killing your wife when you need her to produce kids? Why, when you have kids, are you offing the kids? You want to ask some stupid crap about if Black Lives Matter? Let me ask you about all them damn knives you got in your house and which family member they probably going to end up sticking out of. Oh, that's just so mean. That's just so mean. That's just so hurtful. Oh, well, mission accomplished, I guess. Nobody here to make you feel good. Just like how people don't make those comments to make us feel good. People need to break the moral compass in half, tear the arrows off of it and throw it somewhere. Because those moral compasses, the moral compass is a internal control device to stop you from defending yourself. They want you to sit there and think about some nonsense that somebody might say. You should never waste your time thinking about nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says you don't put your hands on a woman ever. Okay, that's the rules that you live by. And those are the rules that you set, right? Because I disagree. I don't feel that you should ever offensively, aggressively attempt to harm a woman. If a woman attempts to put her hands on you, you have every right to defend yourself. That's Dana White's values, and Dana White's values are not law. But he drew that line in the sand for himself. Now you got to live by it. I don't feel sorry for Dana White, and I don't feel sorry for his wife neither. My wife and I obviously love each other. That's not true. I don't hit people that I love. I don't beat people up that I love. We've been together for a very long time. We've known each other since we were little, and this is just one of those unfortunate situations. All right. White will go on to say there was definitely a lot of alcohol. Of course there was. You were at a bar. Shout out to my man Torian Rain. What up with it, bro? Yeah, facts. Dana White is absolutely a thug, and he broke his own rules. Super facts. But lamestream media won't call him on it. Fact, you already know they won't call him on it, bro. That's all good though. That's what we here for. That's what we're here for. You know what else lamestream media wants him to do, bro? This is the first unprecedented case ever. Lamestream media wants him to choose his own punishment. Man, they always got a punishment lined up for us, don't they? You don't need to have any more deals. You need to get off Twitter. You need to never get another dollar again. You need to stop working with Balenciaga. You need to pay us $500,000. I mean, yo, where's the feminist organizations to say, yo, we need you to go through this 5-step process, Dana White. We need you to do a lecture about feminism. We need you to talk to 5 influential women. We need you to go do some volunteer hours at a domestic violence shelter and deal with some women that have been victimized. And then when you get done, you need to talk to 5 feminist women and talk and donate to 5 feminist causes. Man, where that's at? Where that's at? Yo, speaking of which, how you treat your women in the MMA, Dana White? How do you treat the female fighters? You probably don't treat them any kind of way because them women will whoop your ass. You think if Dana White was dating Ronda Rousey or Holly Holmes, he would have swung at her like that? They would have beat his ass. He know exactly what he was doing. Like Torian said, he's a thug. He's a chump. And so now the wife is on code with him, right? Dana and I have been married for almost 30 years. To say this is out of character for him is an understatement. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Unfortunately, look at this. We were both drinking too much, so they blaming it on the liquor on New Year's Eve, and things got out of control. Well, if it's okay, let's do it like that then. Let's do it like that. Let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to blame this on the liquor. All right, you need to get your ass in a 5-step program then. And then you also need to donate to AA, right? Alcoholics Anonymous. And then you need to stop selling alcohol at all of your sports venues and never host them where alcohol is sold again to prevent future domestic violence, since that is the sole cause of yours, right? And then you need to talk about the dangers of intoxication. I mean, that sounds about right, right? We've talked through this as a family and apologized to each other. I just hope that people will respect our privacy for the sake of our kids. Yeah, I'm sure they will respect your privacy. Apparently, there haven't been any charges done on this, which means that there's no investigation done. You know what I'm saying? Which means there's not going to be no knock warrants, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So now what we're going to do is we're going to watch this and we're going to listen to this. We got the article here from TMZ, and shout out to everybody that's in here. I appreciate each and every one of you all being in here. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you help your boy out by subscribing to the channel. And also, you can check out my backup channels. Dana White. Nightclub fight. That shit rhymes. Y'all hear that? Dana White. Nightclub fight. Fight night. Main event. I think Professor Black Truth even said it. He went 5 rounds with his wife, 5 fingers with his wife. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't foreplay. Dana says there's no excuse. The only problem is you did it. That's the problem. You see? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch how sissified this hit is that Dana White does. But Dana White's wife wasn't playing though. She slapped him. Him and his wife are cool. Probably after she put some ice on that knot that he put on her head. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says we spoke to Dana about the incident, and he admits he and Ann had been drinking heavily, but quickly adds that's no excuse for him getting physical. Then why mention it? Why mention it? All right, so check this out. If you just happen to delete somebody, right? Does it matter if you say I was upset at that person? No, because that's not an excuse. Like, you deleted somebody and that's illegal in most cases. You know what I'm saying? Right, B1. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now he says, you've heard me say for years, there's never an excuse for a guy to put his hands on a woman. And now I'm here on TMZ talking about it. You should have walked yourself to a Mexican prison and had them hold you there for extradition. Why didn't you do that? I'm going to be a shining example of what I preach. I broke my own words. I broke my own oath. Put the cuffs on me. Lock me in your dirtiest jail cell. I'll wait till you ship me back to the United States, and then you can try me for assault. Nah, he was chilling in a nice, you know what I'm saying, air-conditioned room. He had Zoom, cell phone available, comfortable. Shout out to my man Jared. What up with it, bro? He didn't do none of that. He didn't march himself anywhere except for to that queen-size bed that he was sitting on doing that Zoom call. I'm supposed to follow your rules and you don't even follow your rules. All the UFC fighters should quit. That's what should happen. He says that he's embarrassed by this quote-unquote horrible incident, and he and Ann have apologized to each other. He says they're good, but their biggest concern is now their 3 kids. Not a lawsuit, not jail time, their 3 kids. with whom they've already discussed the fight. And I don't believe that they discussed the fight with their kids. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Meanwhile, Ann told TMZ Sports, Dana and I have been married for almost 30 years, so pay very close attention. Now, whatever he told her, right? Whatever Dana White told his wife, I was messing around with these 6 females, Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, honey. That's what I was doing before I got here. That's why I was late. You know what I'm saying? She smacked the life out of him, right? That's not enough to get her to not be on code. She takes some of the blame. It's my fault. Dana and I have been married for almost 30 years. To say this is out of character for him is just an understatement. Dana is always so sweet and such a gentleman. He's so nice. I usually don't even have to put on any blush because he smacks me just right in each of my cheeks, and I can go out the house like that with some matching lipstick. To say this is out of character for him is an understatement. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Unfortunately, we were both drinking too much on New Year's Eve and things got out of control on both sides. We've talked this through as a family and apologized to each other. I just hope people will respect our privacy for the sake of our kids. And what that means is stop asking us about this crap. Okay, it's over with. Yeah, he smacked the crap out of me. You know what I'm saying? And then he took me back home and spreaded me out on the bed, you know what I'm saying, like some damn salsa on some Tostitos. Get over it. I'm over it. Get over it. Okay. And the world just keeps turning. You know what I'm saying? The world keeps turning. And whatever hair product Stephen A. Smith uses on his hair keeps on burning. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. Smith says some of the most ridiculous babble in the history of spoken language. Dana White should punish himself for slapping wife. Come on now. Shout out to Carlton Way. What up with it, bro? Nobody else should have punished themselves. Kyrie Irving wasn't able to punish himself. He wasn't able to sit himself in a corner for a week. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West wasn't able to take himself off the Xbox. But Dana White, because you're just so much better than the rest of the world, and you know what I'm saying? I worship you like a god. You hold the ethical compass to where you will come up with your own appropriate punishment for your act. Man, get out of here. Dana White's side piece made him late. I wouldn't be shocked if that's what actually happened. You know what they say about high value men? You know what I'm saying? He might have been exercising some he might have been exercising some options. You know what I'm saying? And then Anna White exercised that Tae Bo class across his head. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. Smith has called on Dana White to punish himself after slapping his wife. Yeah, you know, Derek Chauvin should punish himself for kneeling on George Floyd's neck. I think Brett Favre should punish himself for being the welfare king. What do you guys think? Why not? We'll just do it like that. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but like that's actually how it already is. So basically, what Stephen A. Smith is doing is Stephen A. Smith is saying, yep, there's nothing wrong with the way the world is now. And as long as I continue to get in front of the media and continue to support the facade of the fake system of ethics, judgment, and favoritism that we have in the world, I'll continue to get my paycheck. Because remember, Stephen A. Smith, his words, nothing makes him happier than making his bosses money. That's what makes Stephen A. Smith happy. That's what defines Stephen A. Smith. How do you punish yourself? That's a great question. Right, Donnie. That's exactly how it is. Dana White has found Dana White not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. And Stephen A. Smith thinks he came with something deep too. I want to sit here and talk to everybody, y'all. Dana White's not only a peer, he's also a friend. And even though we just watched this man smack his wife all around a club in Mexico, I think he's competent enough. I think he's a good enough leader to punish himself. Man, your hairline is too tight. You are talking like that hairline has cut off the oxygen from your brain, Stephen A. Smith. That's what you're talking like. You know what I'm saying? This is a genius idea that I just came up with here. Dana White should punish himself for slapping the shit out of his wife. Sit down somewhere, bro. That's when he gets his little, when he get his Sambo presents together. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jared for answering the Nightbot. He get the Sambo presents together because he's all soft spoken and smooth and quiet storm R&B late night radio. When he about to woo somebody, I'm about to sit here and tell you all this bullshit. And, just don't listen to anything that I'm saying right now because it's nothing but bullshit. But it sounds good coming out. You know what I mean? It sounds good. Doesn't it sound good, Jalen? It sounds good. Oh, man. Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? An incident involving the UFC boss and his wife and was recorded at a nightclub in Cabo, Mexico. All right, we know all that. Do they have a video on here of Stephen A. Smith? Come on, I know they don't have a damn video. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a video, so we're gonna have to read through it and see. I wanted to hear Stephen A.'s voice. So now here it says Smith addressed the matter on First Take on Wednesday and called White to dole out discipline to himself that he would with one of his fighters. Yeah, you know what he should do? He should give himself the John Jones discipline. That's what he should do. Get the belt out of the closet, Dana, and give yourself a whooping. You did wrong. Give yourself a whooping. Go ahead. Oh yeah, he starts acting like Roland Martin when it comes to talking about Kyrie or something like that. He gets to acting like Roland Martin. He put on that Ron Isley Quiet Storm Barry White voice when he, talking about somebody like Dana White. We have to maintain consistency in pointing out. You don't put your hands on a woman if you're a man. You don't do it. Dana White knows that. And all I can say is he's spoken out on men before who put their hands on women before. And whatever punishment you would exact under these circumstances to somebody else is what he should apply to himself. Man, you know what's crazy? Right before I started this live stream, I got up off the toilet and I looked in it and I saw Stephen A. Smith's opinion. Ain't that crazy? What a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So now here, I'm gonna drop some. I don't usually do this. I usually save this for my podcast. Make sure you guys check out my podcast. But I'm gonna tell you guys an intimate secret. Just like Jerry Jones, Dana White is a close friend of mine. He's a close friend of mine. Don't you judge him. I see all 42 of you in here. Don't you judge him. That's my friend you're talking about. And everybody makes mistakes. For everyone in here, don't none of you act like you never made a mistake before. Yeah, he's a friend who I love dearly. Did you see it in the video after he had went upside his wife's head and how she started rubbing on his bald head? Do you know sometimes I just sit here in my office with my legs crossed and think about doing that myself? That's how much I love Dana White. Don't judge me. Judge yourself first. Judge yourself first. Oh, Keith, you don't even have no idea. You don't have no idea, son. I got a hot box of a baker's dozen. Big batter butter biscuits with some I can't believe it's not butter running down the side. Oh, man, this dude, man. Man, this dude is wild, man. Stephen A. Smith is wild. You know what I'm saying? So right here he says, Dana White he's not just somebody that's connected in the world of sports. He's a friend. I love the guy personally. If I could take Anna's place, I would. So this is a very hard subject for me, okay? This is very hard for me, Molly. Matter of fact, we need to go to commercial break. Okay, we're back. We're back. He knew there's no way on the earth that I wasn't going to talk about this. My heart goes out to his family because I wish I was a part of it. But also because this is a very, very embarrassing situation. Oh, man. Stephen A. Bruh. He got that big box of them Patti LaBelle butter biscuits. You know what I'm saying? He says it never, ever happened before. He is completely ashamed and utterly disgusted with himself that he finds himself in this situation where he would have never done such a thing to a woman he's been married to in 30 years, who's the mother of his children. He makes no excuses for it. Yeah, except for the fact that it was the alcohol. You know, hey, listen, there's no excuse for this, but I was drinking top shelf that night. Are you serious? Yeah, I had like 5 shots of Ace of Spades, you know. Ain't no excuse for this shit. But I mean, if we gonna really break the situation down, you know what I'm saying, I'll turn it up. Come on now, stop. I think it's important to point that out. I think it's also important to point out that she validates what he asserts, that it never happened before and that was completely out of character. She liked it. I think we got evidence that she liked it. So she's used to that kind of thing. Some people, they like that sadomasochistic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some women really get off on getting treated like crap. She clearly is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the friendship, an additional interesting facet of this segment is that Smith is repped by Endeavor, which owns UFC. Oh, there you go. How many of y'all knew that? Beyond the friendship is an additional interesting facet of this segment is that Smith is repped by Endeavor, which owns UFC. ESPN is the exclusive rights holder of UFC, And earlier this week, former ESPN talent Dan Lee Batard wondered if the network would hold White's feet to the fire. So there you go. There's a little bit of information for y'all that y'all might not have known. So Steve. So and remember, Stephen A. Smith, his own words: "Nothing makes me happier than making my boss's money." Right. So shout out to my man Kid Gravity. So if what he wanted to do was do what his bosses told him to, then he's going to talk Dana White up. Makes sense, right? Here go in 2014. Remember, shout out to Notorious Big. Things done changed. In 2014, White described domestic violence as a career ender in the UFC. Well, there you go. Stephen A. Smith said you should punish yourself. Punish yourself. Big Punisher, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and Christopher Rios yourself. That's one thing that you never bounce back from, and that's putting your hands on a woman. His hand bounced back and found it back on his wife's head again. He said at the time, been that way in the UFC since we started here. You don't bounce back from putting your hands on a woman. But now Dana White is up here singing that Big Sean song. I went upside my wife's head, but tonight I bounced back. I smacked her at the bar, but tonight I bounced back. Come on, man. Shout out to Vega. What up with it, Vega? So now it says, if it happened with Roger Goodell or an owner, do you imagine it would be quiet? Because I don't. I mean, we've already seen things like this happen to the owner. Wouldn't the Patriots owner caught with like all kinds of prostitutes and stuff like that? Didn't that happen? He got caught with prostitutes a couple times, didn't he? Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying, was out there on the other side of the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? Don't nothing happen to these owners. Dana White is in a long line of unaccountable owners. You know what I'm saying? I bet they fight like that at home too. And then they get all hot and steamy. You seen her rubbing his bald head. You can't not notice stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, in the aftermath of the incident with his wife, White apologized in an interview to TMZ. And we just saw the interview. He didn't apologize anything. They say these people be apologizing all the time. They said that Skip Bayless apologized. Listen, shout out to the ADL. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, we cannot take away, when talking about the ADL, we can't take away how much the president and CEO of the ADL's head looks like Dana White's head. Okay. And in case you don't know what that head looks like, there it is right there. So because of people with heads like that, now we know what an apology that we should demand looks like. Oh yeah, bruising. B1 first, bruising. You know what I'm saying? Bruising and safety words. He probably don't pay no attention. You know what I'm saying? Ari Emanuel's got a problem. Look at this sophisticated fella right here. Man, he's got a problem. Better go get you some stronger lenses for them glasses so you can see the answer to it. What to do after UFC chief is caught on video slapping wife? Let's just sit back and look like the Ponderer statue for about a year straight until the situation goes away. Let's put on our thinking caps, especially Dana White, because his head might get cold. Let's think. What should we do? I'm lost, guys. I'm a minute and 58 seconds into this live stream. Just ran out of words, ran out of ideas. No idea. Do they got an OnlyFans page? Do they for real? That's hilarious. Hey, y'all know I ain't mad at the OnlyFans. Oh my goodness, man. If only America knew what to do with somebody who goes upside their wife's head. Damn. Thank goodness we got all them new Supreme Court justices. Maybe we can figure something out. I don't think we can actually because Katanji don't know what a woman is. So, oh, you made that up. Well, I mean, you never know now. You never know nowadays. You say somebody be like Joe Biden got a OnlyFans. Well, now we know why the economy is the way it is. Will he get yayed up? Facts, Sari. That's the question. But look at Ari. He put that serious face on. He wants you all to know that he's thinking. You see that pea brain inside of his head? Do you see that little funny shaped nugget on top of his neck? Man, I swear you could even see smoke coming out of his ears. He's thinking so hard on trying to figure out what kind of punishment we should give Dana White. I think they both need to be charged with domestic violence, Vega. What should we do? What should Ari Emanuel do? Here's a thought, Ari. Everything that you did to Kanye West, you should do it to Dana White. And you should personally see to it and sign everything off. That's what you should do. Where are his lips? I guarantee you he sucked them back into his head and they're massaging his brain right now, trying to stimulate some kind of electricity so he could possibly come up with an idea of what to do with Dana. Everybody think. Put your thinking caps on now. Oh, man, he got that Hoover vacuum cleaner look on his face. He's sucking them lips in hard, and they sucked into the back of his head and just massaging his brain like a damn goldfish when you put food in the tank. And Dana White got the microphone whispering in his ear, "Shut up. Shut up. Don't talk about me and my wife. Shut up." Endeavor CEO. Endeavor. Didn't we just talk about Endeavor? Now we know who Stephen A. Smith's boss is. Right? Now we know who that boss is that Stephen A. Smith wants to make happy. It's Ari Emanuel. So now we understand why Stephen A. Smith says the things that Stephen A. Smith says, because his boss at Endeavor is Ari Emanuel. Oh, and check this out. Ari Emanuel has often staked out a moral high ground as he built Endeavor. Most recently, calling on companies doing business with Kanye West to end their relationships with the rapper as an anti-Semitic rant that didn't cause anyone any physical harm. But yet he's sitting here coddling a cretin who made up the rule you don't go back after you hit your wife, who was caught on film hitting his wife. What you gonna do, Ari? What are you gonna do? Ari's solution to this is going to be absent like his lips. You see that mouth right there? That mouth don't have no lips and don't have no solution. And that's the best that we can expect out of Ari. But he sure as heck knew what to do with Kanye West, though. I know exactly what to do with Kanye West. Oh, I don't know what to do with. I don't know how to handle this. There's so many factors in dealing with Dana White. What are those factors? Put it out on the table. What are the factors? We all know what the factors are. You know what I'm saying? So now in 2010, it says he famously cut ties with WME client Mel Gibson, quote unquote, after racist slurs. So what it seems like is Ari Emanuel has a genetic bias. It seemed like Ari Emanuel only knows what to do in a situation of alleged anti-Semitism. When it comes to anything else, little Ari just melts. Little Ari just melts. He doesn't know what to do. Well, how are you a leader? How are you a CEO if you don't know how to make the difficult call, Ari? Now he faces a conundrum at his company's crown jewel, the UFC, whose longtime CEO, Dana White, was seen on a rather shocking leaked video smacking his wife on New Year's Eve. Neither Endeavor nor Emanuel have weighed in on White yet, and Endeavor reps weren't immediately available to comment Wednesday. Were they drunk too? Were they going upside a woman's head too? Little Ari, right? Pun intended. Right, Jared. What were they doing? Were they busy using women as punching bags too? I'm busy. I'm practicing my straight right. I'm busy. I'm practicing my jab. Nobody could be found to deal with this problem. On Kanye West, Emanuel was a bystander. Who, man, he was sure an effective bystander, wasn't he? Man. White's situation is closer to home. Uh-oh. Video footage posted by TMZ of an argument on the balcony of a VIP suite at the Cabo San Lucas nightclub in Mexico shows White's wife, Anne, slap him after he grabs her wrists. Then White smacks his wife across the face in response before the pair were separated by partygoers. And they got the link for it right there, but we already seen it. White has said he and his wife have apologized. Now, that's interesting, right? They apologized as a couple. Till death do us part. We apologize. We apologize for me smacking the crap out of her. Any other questions? Any other questions? Well, are you going to continue to be the CEO of the UFC? Yeah, I mean, the family got to eat. Any other questions? You can't make it up. Despite the fact that there's no excuse, alcohol keeps getting brought up a lot. There was a lot of alcohol involved, but that's no excuse. If the alcohol wasn't an excuse, then why do they keep bringing it up? Does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense. You've heard me say for years there's never an excuse for a guy to put his hands on a woman. Yes, we have, Dana, and we eagerly await you explaining to us what your excuse was. What was your excuse? Yeah, slap on, slap off. the slapper, you know? His wife, Ann, said in a statement, Dana and I have been married for almost 30 years. Unfortunately, we were both just drunk as a skunk on New Year's Eve, and it just got out of control on both sides. And we've talked this through as a family, and we've apologized to each other. And I just hope people will respect their privacy when they're thinking about kids. Like, you cannot make this up. Facts, Vega. Me neither. I was just saying that. And I guarantee you wouldn't nobody make an excuse for me if I hit him. I'm just going to dot your eye real quick while I'm drunk. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Smoking a good strain. You know what I'm saying? I'm turned up. Man, bio. Now make an excuse for me. That doesn't happen anywhere. Shout out to Jared for answering the Nightbot. High-profile UFC has been driving revenue and profit for its parent company, which went public last year. Endeavor shares fell sharply yesterday after the video surfaced, closing down more than 5%, outpacing the losses in the broader market. The stock recovered some today and is changing hands at 21.95%, which is up about 3.5%. So, I mean, Dana White cost the company money. He cost them money, hunty. And Ari Emanuel doesn't know what to do. He's a smart businessman with an opinion on everything except for how to handle his own business. You know what I'm saying? Endeavor owns 100% of the UFC, which White has led since 2001. It's lucrative at a time when sports rights are in demand and price tag for deals continue to rise. For the third quarter ended in November, Endeavor's own sports properties division, led by UFC, saw sales rise 39% from the year before to $402 million, driven by higher media rights fees and live event partnership, consumer products, and licensing revenues. Operating profits of $196 million was up by 45% year over year. Sounds to me like I know exactly what to do with Dana White. After reading those numbers, do you guys know what should be done with Dana White? I do. There's the front door with no severance package. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for your family. Kinda. Not. You know what I'm saying? That's just life. And you chose to mess yours up. This fall, look at this. This fall, Emmanuel was very vocal over Kanye West. If you guys remember, Ari Emanuel talking crazy about Kanye West, give me a thumbs up. Now, remember, what Ari Emanuel said about Kanye West was that Kanye West's mental disorder is no excuse for Kanye West's anti-Semitic rants. So here's my question. What is the excusable event that took place for Dana White socking his wife after he's the one that laid that rule out? Dana White is the one that put that criteria on himself that no man should ever slap a woman. All right, bruh, you did it. So now what? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't shared the video out, please help your boy out by sharing that video. Yeah, man, clown this dude because he's a clown. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Emanuel was very vocal over Kanye West, penned a series of op-eds condemning the rapper's infamous DEFCON 3 tweet, followed by his doubling down on his claims of alleged mistreatment by J people. In October, Emanuel wrote in the Financial Times that those who continue to do business with West are giving his misguided hate an audience. There should be no tolerance anywhere for West's anti-Semitism. What kind of tolerance should we have for Dana White's disrespect of not only the institution of marriage, but of women. What should we do about that? That should be the dinner place, the dinner table conversation in every American household. What should we do? What do we think we can do to help Dana White learn this lesson that he needs to learn? That he clearly didn't learn. You know what I'm saying? Clearly nobody taught him. This is a moment in history where the stakes are high about being open, and our values and living them is essential. Silence and inaction are not an option. Man. Okay, so check this out, right? Dana White said that anybody who puts their hands on a woman, there's no going back from them. And Ari Emanuel said that silence is not an option. But Dana White just put his hands on his wife, and Ari Emanuel is being silent. Let's just let that marinate. How does that feel on the palate? How does that feel on the palate? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. This is Ari Emanuel's words. This is a moment in history where the stakes are high and being open about our values and living them is essential. Is beating the brakes off of your wife one of the values? Must be. That must be that patriarchy them ladies be talking about. I wouldn't know. I ain't part of it. But it must be. You know what I mean? He sure did, Cameron. So he clearly, so that's a good point that you bring up. Dana White let a quote unquote former man fight a woman. So he clearly doesn't have any issues with that. So nobody should be shocked. You know what I'm saying? So now check this out. He followed that with a December op-ed for his hometown paper, the Chicago Tribune, calling out the cartoonish Kanye clown show, Dave Chappelle, the Republican Party, and Trump for the normalization of white supremacy and anti-Semitism and racism in America. Now that's interesting. We're talking about a racist bigot calling out racism. This is almost as laughable as when Joe Biden gets enough brain warmth to utter out something about white supremacy. Coming from a former plantation of an Adoso, a descendant of a plantation owner, calling out white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? And when I say Joe Biden is a descendant of a plantation owner, that's not a blanket statement. I actually mean an actual genetic heir of a plantation, of a slave owning plantation. Joe Biden, our president. Look at this. Of Gibson, Emanuel wrote, I wish Mel Gibson well in dealing with his alcoholism, but alcoholism does not excuse racism and anti-Semitism. Gibson was arrested in 2006 after an anti-Semitic sexist tirade. Man, I mean, if beating your wife isn't a sexist tirade, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. If beating your wife isn't a sexist tirade, I don't know what is, for real. He might have. So now the question is, what is Ari's statement? What is Ari's statement on Dana White gonna look like? Somebody go get Andrew Tate from jail and have him write his statement on Dana White on a napkin and bring it here so we can see what Tate says about it. Tate get you the views. You know what I'm saying? Somebody send Andrew Tate a JPay message to that Romanian dungeon that he in and see what he has to say about this. Because Andrew Tate said that no one has it rougher than the straight white male. While we just watched a straight black boxer get ran through the ringer and he was innocent, and a straight white male who's actually guilty gets to have little fun Zoom interviews from the comfort of his home. Where Jordan Peterson and all them at? Oh, Tate is in the hospital? Somebody tore him up already, huh? You know, they said that Tate was messing around with a lot of women. I wouldn't be surprised if one of, he might have messed with somebody's sister in the big house. They that comes with costs. You know what I'm saying? Domestic violence has been an issue for professional athletes and NFL executives. In 2014, Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice was suspended from the NFL after an incident at Atlantic City where he hit his fiancée, Janae Palmer, and dragged her out of an elevator. The sentence, relatively lenient at 2 games, was followed by intense backlash as the video of the event went viral, which I find fascinating because I don't even think the video of Dana White has actually went viral, has it? Oh, it's from food poisoning? Yeah, of course they bring up Ray Rice. And the reason why they're bringing up Ray Rice is to show the blatant to show the blatant inconsistency and to tout and to say, see, until you beat us, this is what you're going to have to deal with. That's why they're doing that. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says NFL guidelines for domestic abuse were toughened. Rice appealed his suspension and it was overturned, but no team signed him, and he officially announced the end of his football career in 2018. The support of Palmer, who married and has a family with Rice, wasn't enough to save his career. So pay very close attention to that. The fake outrage of acting like they support Palmer actually destroyed Palmer's family. So this is that fake morals and fake ethics. Yeah, I think I agree, KO Kid Fit, and I think Torian is right. I think she spit on him. NFL guidelines for domestic abuse were toughened. You know what I'm saying? So again, now where is Ari Emanuel? In October, Chris Albrecht was put on leave and is expected to leave his post as president of Legendary Television after new detail from his days at HBO emerged in the book It's Not TV, The Spectacular Rise and the Future of HBO by Felix Gillette and John Colbin. It covers how Albrecht allegedly choked former HBO executive Sasha Emerson in the summer of 1991, months after they ended their consensual affair while they were both married. And notice how, talking about this consensual affair, notice how they don't call Amy Roebuck and TJ Holmes a consensual affair when it's clearly very consensual. But they're not calling it that, though, in the media. Pay very close attention to that. I've never really heard them phrase this whole thing like, quote unquote, consensual affair. You know what I'm saying? Ari got his own fights at home. Facts. That's what happened to his lips. Somebody left his lips on the floor and he had to hurry up and get dressed and go to work. He just went on and left them there. A spokesman for Albrecht denied the incident took place. A police report was not filed, just like Dana White. So now we already have a precedent of what should happen, right? I mean, because Anna White supports Dana White, right? But we got Dana White on a video smacking his wife, and we also got Dana White on a video saying that's not acceptable behavior for him. Now, that's a different story. If somebody ever get a video of some woman smacking me and I yoke her up, I didn't say that, that's not acceptable. I'm sitting here telling you right now, I will defend myself, but this is Dana Always Right White, who made the rule that there's no excuse for a man to ever put his hand on a woman. So now you die by your own sword. And we got plenty of examples. He should get the Ray Rice treatment. And facts. How is there no police report and he's still there? Now, this is the same Mexican government that was just willing to let that girl get killed down there that got beat up on camera. And after she was getting beat up on camera, they tried to say that she was that it was drugs and all this stuff involved. Same Mexican government. Any government can go ahead and intervene and be like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and bring on charges. They're not gonna bring on charges on Dana White. If that was a black dude, though, oh yeah, we bringing charges here. You know what I'm saying? You know they would have. Nuri Martinez would have been there. American Cholo would have been there. So we have a model, we have a protocol, we have a precedent of how to deal with people who are involved in domestic violence. And mind you, since Dana White has such a high moral standard, and he says, even if a woman stabs you, there's no reason for you to ever put your hands on a woman. Okay. Well, you just did. But despite the fact that Dana White has given suggestions on what to do when men put their hands on women, we've seen, other he dying by his own sword. Jared, facts. Okay, it's on you. Stephen A. Smith says that you should punish yourself. Turn yourself into the police and resign from your position as the CEO of the UFC. That's the start. And that's before you start paying out money to the domestic violence organizations and the alcohol abuse and drug addiction organizations, right? Because, you keep bringing up alcohol. Shout out to Jared and shout out to Vega for answering the Nightbot. But we're not going to see that. We're not going to see that. And the reason we're not going to see that is because we live in a world that allows double standards to be perpetuated. I'm going to show you guys some headlines real quick of either some videos or some live streams that I'm going to do in the future. Okay. But you will see why I'm showing you this stuff. DA says husband of missing Cohasset mom to be arraigned Monday on charges of allegedly misleading police. This article came out January 8th of 2023. All right. This is the woman. She's missing. She's gone. Nobody knows where the hell she is. I'm saying her husband misled police. Unfortunately for her, she's probably dead somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Now check this one out. Philip Hughes. This guy right here deleted his grandson. What a New Year's Day present. Philip Hughes, who is 62 years old, was arrested for allegedly stabbing his 8-year-old grandson to death on January 1st of 2023. Way to bring in the New Year's. You guys can Google a picture of this guy to see what this creep looks like. We got another one. Salem man charged in fentanyl-related death of 1-year-old daughter, December 29th of 2022. There you go. Here's more. New Britain couple says it, or the DCF says it returned a young child to a couple, and the couple is now charged in the child's death. This woman's name is Ashley Hernandez. This guy's name is Rocky Hernandez. How come you don't hear about these crimes on the news? But if you leave it to somebody like Ari Emanuel, if you leave it to any of these people in the mainstream media, I mean, Molly Qerim said it's not an isolated incident. Or she said it's an isolated incident. 3 arrested in school abuse investigation. What's wrong with these people and harming kids? But what we're going to do is we're going to sit here and say that critical race theory is more harmful to children than we are. Okay. I ain't even mad at that, Faith. Cheesecake is good. You got some of that Hershey's what is that? Cherry or strawberry sauce to put on top of it? Why would you hide your newborn in the woods? That's the question for me. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit young to start playing hide and seek. But this one here, she hid her newborn in the woods. Yeah, facts, Torian. All these are stories that the lamestream media buries. Facts. This is relatively recent, December 27th of 2022. Oh, we're just not going to talk about it. We're just not going to talk about it. You know, this is an old story right here. This story is from 2015. I'm sorry, 2014. I want you guys to make sure that you read the headlines right. Utah mom admitted to deleting her 6 babies. That's right. Megan Huntsman was clear about what she did with 6 of her newborn babies. I don't know how she had 6 newborns at the same time, but okay. Huntsman, who was 39, told police she either strangled or suffocated them immediately after they were born. She wrapped their bodies in a towel or a shirt, put them in plastic bags, and packed them inside boxes in the garage of her home south of Salt Lake City. How many people heard about this story? If you heard about this story, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't hear about this story, give me a thumbs down. I'll check them out. Phil Baroni and Kane Coraza, I'm sure. Phil Baroni sounded like he put somebody in some cement shoes or something. It's not clear why. A day after her arrest on charges of deleting her 6 babies, investigators and her neighbors puzzled over the grisly discovery, including how she could have concealed a half dozen pregnancies over a 10-year period. Look at this. Look at this. Where's this woman at? So they're not showing her face, but there is definitely a picture of her. You can look her up. Megan Huntsman of Utah. And again, this came from 2014. So why would I bring this up? The reason why I bring this up is because what we're going to do is we're going to act like somebody where there's a clear pattern of family side abuse, harming families. For one, we're going to pedestalize those particular individuals and make them look as if they're the shining star of example families, right? When these families can't stop either deleting the wife, deleting the kids, or just deleting the whole family. And we're going to act like that's not something that we should expect in a privileged family. when all of those families who engage in that kind of behavior are also privileged families. But, you know, we don't need to worry about that when we got us up here committing all the crime, right? We don't need to worry about that because it's only us that commits the crimes. If only that was true. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I might actually stream a little bit later. It'll be super late night if I do. But if I don't, I think I'm gonna stream again tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys hit the bell. Also, make sure you guys leave some comments after the stream. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I will catch you all on the next one. All right, peace.